Hey guys, so this is another video. Today I wanted to talk about uh, Democrats because I have received a comment that I found to be really funny, by a Democrat claiming that we're Nazi-like and all that, and claiming to be that they're for freedom and that they're not against people in this country. Yeah, you are. You're against it. You're against the country, against the American people, the real American people. And you're also against certain rights that we have that are ensured by the U.S. Constitution, and I'm here to help prove some of that today. So we're on your home site, Democrats. It says here is where we stand, right here. As you can see, the Democrat symbol right here. It says Democrats believe that the economy should work for everyone. Okay? When it says everyone, it's meaning basically anyone that comes into this country to try and live. Well, we have rules here that state otherwise. If you come in here illegally, you're not open to that. Healthcare is a right. Okay, I can agree with that for the real American people, yes. Not for illegals, not for other people that are coming into the country illegally. Our diversity is our strength. Okay, that right there is craziness in itself. Diversity, what does diverse mean? Diverse means different, means to kind of like division. Okay, how's there strength in division if you're separated? That's a weakness right there. Diversity is a weakness. Democracy is worth defending. Okay, first off, democracy. Democracy is a form of government, yes, but we are not a democracy in this country. We are a democratic republic. Democracy is where a group of people make the rules for everybody else. The people, everybody else comes together to vote on these leaders, and when the leaders get in power, they take over the show and gather together to vote amongst themselves what the rules are going to be for everybody else. That's what a democracy basically is. And then we have the Democratic Republic, which is where we vote people in to represent the people, to represent the American people, to vote for them, to make sure that they do their job, or make sure that they do what we vote for them to do, not for them to take the show and run it themselves. Okay, so party platform. The Democratic Party writes and adopts a new party platform at each Democratic National Convention to detail our shared democratic values and policy priorities. Okay, so what I'm not understanding here in this sentence is Democratic National Convention to detail our shared democratic values. Shared democratic values. Funny, because every time I speak to a Democrat, they always have their own goals and their own values that differs from the other Democrat. So that can't be shared. Policy priorities. Well, that's funny because the only policy I'm seeing here in y'all's so-called party is a bunch of bull crap, basically. You're going off, taking people's rights away, and stating what kind of rights they can have. Well, by the U.S. Constitution, you're not allowed to do that. Democrats across the country are working hard to build a better America. Are they, though? Because all the Democrats I'm seeing are fat asses sitting on their ass all day long in a chair eating potato chips and french fries and milkshakes. Ooh, that's so hard working. We're fighting to build an economy that works for everyone by lowering costs for working families and investing in the middle class. Funny, every time that the economy has a problem, The Democrats always cause the prices on everything else to go up. They always go up. And it says for working families. Well, when they say working families, they're basically meaning people who are not working. They're meaning people who want to basically do nothing but sit around on their ass all day doing nothing, and people who have been hired at jobs that they have no right to be working because they can't do the job right themselves, because either they didn't go to school for it or they didn't do it before at all, be kind of like any kind of training of any type, and their personality may not be the right type for that type of job, and they're wanting to take money from the good working people to hand it over to them because they don't want to do their job. They don't want to do what they're supposed to do. Democrats are dedicated to ensuring a stronger and more just future for every American. No, they're not. We can see that right now with the Democrats threatening people and threatening to hurt Republicans and people who are not like them. This is a lie right here. Dedicated to ensuring a stronger and more just future for every American. Yeah, that's a lie. Democrat National Committee. Let's see what we have else here. Take action. From now until Election Day, Democrats are keeping their foot on the gas, organizing and meeting voters until no stone is left unturned. Because we know when we organize everywhere, we win everywhere. Not true. When you organize everywhere, you're basically just becoming a party that is against this country, against the people, and the people that are not like you, that don't vote the same way, don't want you there. They've always have held the majority vote here, the people who don't like you. And it says we win everywhere. Well, if that were true, then the whole country would be Democrat. Well, you didn't win everywhere because there's swing states. There's other states that you have not won in. Some states that were Democrat for several years and then all of a sudden became Republican. That's pretty funny, that you'd say that, and that's a total lie right there. I can prove that. You can look that up, on what states have been Democrat for years and then became Republican. So that's a lie. Find out how to take action for the fall 2025 elections from Virginia to California. Funny, California, always known as a Democrat state, yet several counties here in the last 4 years to 8 years have been turning highly Republican. Funny. Virginia, usually Democrat, but thing is, a lot of places have become Republican there too. Make calls of the DNC call crew. Democrats are calling voters across the country to engage supporters and mobilize for key elections happening this fall. Be a part of the national call crew and join us for a virtual phone bank. Each day we will make calls for a different key race happening across the country. Oh, so you're basically going to do a bunch of prank calls and try to act like you know something when you really don't. Okay. Voters in 2025 election states. Across the country, Democrats need your help to ensure we win decisively in 2025 elections. That's funny. Across the country, Democrats need your help. Well, if you claim that you win everywhere and all that, then why do you need our help? Because you don't win. Whether it's knocking on doors, making calls, or recruiting others to join, your support is key to helping us reach voters nationwide. Every single volunteer effort makes a difference. Here are just a few of the key races you can get involved with. Find an event, support the VA Voter Protection Hotline out-of-state interest form. New Jersey, find an event, out-of-state interest form. So basically, we have a bunch of states here, and notice how they're almost always been Democrat. Because I know a lot of other places are not very friendly towards Democrats. If you claim you win everywhere, then why isn't every other state on here? Make sure you and your friends are registered to vote. Take 5 minutes today to register to vote to make sure your registration is up to date. Voters can find education and information to help them out. Reach out to the people in your life and make sure they are registered to vote at their current address. That's funny because they found a bunch of illegal ballots, and the people that were voting, some were not even citizens, some were not even alive people. That's pretty sad that they're going to openly lie about that. Join us online. Organizing online is more important than ever. That's why we're organizing everywhere, meeting voters wherever they are, from our latest bilingual WhatsApp channel to daily insights from the Blueprint on Substack. And Democrats are building a stronger digital presence to connect, inform, and mobilize. Funny, they're using a stronger digital presence to connect and inform and mobilize. Well, yeah, because you guys are not liked by so many people in so many different towns and across America. You had no choice but to use the internet to do your talks and do your bullcrap, because you guys are not as strong as you claim to be. If you're really that strong, then why haven't y'all won more elections? Why haven't you guys done more states turned on blue? Because what you're saying is a total lie. Let's see. Okay. Have a voting plan? No. That's not what we're looking for. What do we do about the Democratic Party, leadership, state parties, party platform, the issues, trainings, work with us, donations? Let's check out about the Democratic Party. Since 1848, the Democratic National Committee, DNC, has been the heart of the Democratic Party, the oldest continuing political party in the United States. That's funny, because in 1776, our country was formed, and the Constitution was written, which was basically Republican-made, conservative-made. So you are not the oldest political party in the United States. That is a big lie right there. Pointed that out easy. We are millions of supporters strong. Well, you may be millions of supporters strong, but you aren't by the billions. You aren't by, any kind of real big army of people. Leading with our values, fighting for progress. Okay, your values are not values at all. In fact, they're worthless, the ideas y'all have. It's essentially the same thing as socialism and communism. Fighting for progress, another thing, that's not progress, that's regress. That's regression. And help elect Democrats in every state, city, and zip code, from local offices to the Oval Office. Our party's strength lies in advancing our democratic platform and forging positive solutions that include everyone. Funny, if it includes everyone, then why are they so against white people having their own businesses and other people having just what they want in their business or their shows or their whatever it is that they have that's theirs? Why can't they have their own race of what they want in there? See, that's not including everyone. They're trying to force, by including everyone, to accept that you have to include other races into your businesses, into your films, into whatever you make, all that. And you shouldn't have to. You should be able to pick and choose who you want in your videos, who you want in your business, who you want in your company, who you want to do business with. But they don't want to do that. They want to force everyone to do everything together. And that's not what's going to happen with them. They are evil. They are people who want to do away with lots of things and implement other rules, just like Nazis and communist Russians of like World War II and that just shortly after. As Democrats would believe every person in this nation deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Well, if that's true, then they also don't treat other Republicans and other people with dignity or respect. I mean, just look around. You see all these people spitting on Republicans and people that are cussing them out and throwing things at them and attacking people, and they're raping and they're killing people. So yeah, that's a real believable lie. We believe that healthcare is a right for all and that the hard work of middle class families should be rewarded. Healthcare is a right for all and that the hard work of middle class families should be rewarded. Okay, hard work of middle class families should be rewarded. Okay, now it just says that middle class families. What happened to the lower class? See, that's a flaw in their thing. It's also the fact that they don't want to help the lower class. They want to up the prices on them, keep them forcing them to work their ass off, where they can't afford anything. All the money will go to the middle class and the upper class people. See, taking and giving nothing back, just like a communist. We believe our schools and streets should be free from gun violence. Okay, gun violence. Funny term. I don't see a gun growing arms and legs and going off shooting people. I don't see guns going off by themselves and hitting people. Gun violence, as far as I'm concerned, any violence is generally not a good thing. But violence is just that. Violence. It doesn't matter if it's with a gun, a car, a knife, a baseball bat. People will find anything they can to do violence, no matter what you take away from them. And second off, you don't have a right to go off and take people's guns. That's permitted in the Second Amendment among the first 10. That's in the U.S. Constitution, and for you to say that is treason. And that a woman's decision about her own body is hers to make. Yes, you can make your own decision with your own body. Nobody's telling you can't. The only thing is that when you do an abortion, you're not doing anything to your own body. You're doing it to someone else's body, because that is a living soul inside of you. So you're doing something to somebody else. That's equivalent to rape. So basically, you're a child killer at that point. At the DNC, we are working together to build a bright future for everyone. Yeah, that's some bright future. Taking rights away from people, murdering babies, going off and spitting, beating people, and shooting people, and stabbing people, and hitting people with their cars. Yeah, that's a real bright future. We are fighting for the soul of our country. Yeah. See, your idea of your country is to make it a socialistic, communistic one. It is a Nazism idea, a communist idea. The heart of our democracy, okay, again, not a democracy, we are a democratic republic. And America's place as the land of opportunity for all. It would be a land of opportunity for all if you come in legally, if you don't break our laws and don't go off and try and change things that are not to be changed, like the U.S. Constitution and the first 10 amendments. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's go down here about the Democrat Party. Let's see about that. It's the same page. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. State parties, party platform. Let's try what we do. I think we've already checked this out. Let's try it again. Let's see. What are your goals? Where do you list them? Let's try this. Let's see. Preamble. To tackle the climate crisis, lower energy costs, and secure energy independence. Okay, how do you intend to do that when the weather has been the same, constantly changing year after year after year for generations, and nothing has changed really? You can't change the weather. You can influence it because of the base that nobody wants to talk about, the ARP Center, that was, last I know, was located in Alaska, that was made for spraying certain chemicals into the air to influence the weather and storms. Not as crazy as that may sound. Look, supposedly this was real. Supposedly it's considered to be not real. But the thing is, as they like to claim progressiveness. Well, if you're so progressive, then surely you can have something like that. Let's see. All sounds nice, doesn't it? Looking at all these things. But it's the way they want them, not the way the people want them. Gun safety? That's funny. They sell them to felons and stuff, supposedly. Look at all this. Economic progress. And these are all things that they want to put out there to seem like they're these great people, that they're these great politicians. See, the infrastructure stuff was all a lie, pretty much. Manufacturing. And you can read this stuff online and all that. It sounds all good until you realize what they're meaning by their words. Okay, and people don't bother to read these things or go online to figure out what's being said and what they mean. See, they have plans to change every little aspect of America. They plan to try and change this country and to fit their narrative, their goals, their beliefs. You know, it's funny how nobody looks at these things and really takes the time to read them like I have on some of them. But this is just accessed. I'm just showing you how to access these things so that way you can read it yourself. You know, so that way you can see what their real goals are, but you gotta read them real carefully because they'll try and make it sound like it's a good thing when it's really not. And they'll mix lies with the truth like the devil does. Deception is one of their greatest adversaries. Yeah, the healthcare is really bad under their stuff. They don't want anything to help with people or anything. They just want to go back to the Stone Age with these things. Yeah, it's just a big old long list of different bullcrap rules and regulations that they want to do, and a lot of this is Nazism and stuff like that. They get a lot of their leanings from Nazis and stuff like that. Let me go make another thing here. Make another page. I'm going to show y'all something. Nazi laws versus Democrat laws. Comparisons. Let's see. Okay, so of course Google's gonna lie about it, but let's go and see this. Let's see, what is this? No guns, no guns. Nazis and Democrats. Censorship, media mind control, media mind control. Abortions and abortions are okay under the Democrats and the Nazis both. All these match up. Let me get a better, clearer one for people. Okay, let me see if I can't enlarge that. Okay, so we are on Reddit. Okay, so socialism was what the Nazis were known for. Democrats are known for socialism. No guns, no guns. Censorship, censorship, yep. Censorship of no Republican stuff and no pro-real American stuff, like pro-gun stuff and all that. That's censorship. Media mind control, media mind control. Yeah, that's true, because they do try to change the media and all that. They have been caught countless times lying about things and reporting things before they were ready to be reported, trying to drum it up in their favor when reality hit that it did not go in their favor. Abortions and abortions. That is pretty close. That is a for sure thing that the Nazis were for and the Democrats are for. Hate Jews and whites. Yes, that is true. They do hate Jews. They don't like Israel. They're supporters of Palestine and all the Arabic nations. And they hate white people. That is true too, because they allow businesses with all blacks, all Hispanics, all Asians, but no business with just all white people. Worship the government. They worship the government. Yep. They want you totally reliant on the government to give you your rights, to give you your medical stuff, to give you all the things you want, just like Social Security and all that. They want you totally reliant on the government, and that's how they'll get you to do it. No guns. Of course there's no guns, because they don't want any kind of form of, being able to have a say. They don't want guns under the guise of people shooting other people, but, well, thing is, people are going to do that regardless, because some people in this world are just violent people. Not every gun owner is a violent person. Certainly not me. Socialism. Yes, they are socialist. They keep taking and give nothing back, just like a communist or a socialist. That is something they all share together. So, really, they're not so different. They're really the same. And notice how the flag has a circle in it. They have a circle in it. See? That's funny how that happens. Well, just thought I might point out to some of y'all what the Democrats really do and how close they are together with their laws and their bullshit. Just go to the Democratic home site. This is all you have to do and read this stuff, man. It'll tell you everything you need to know about them. And if you had time, go off and check the U.S. Constitution too. Do some reading up on that, because that can help a lot too, and point out to you what rights you really do have in this country and what they're trying to take away. I mean, just look at these things, just page after page after page after page of things. And the thing is, a lot of times they also contradict each other in different ways. It's funny, you know. Just go to the home site, like I said, read this stuff. Well, I just thought I might show y'all some of that stuff today, and be able to point out to some of y'all how wrong Democrats really are, and how they'll try to deny it. And I know in the comments some people will deny this, but we all know the truth, even the ones saying the comment. It's why they get so mad and why they comment about it, is because they know they're in the wrong. They know that they are evil inside, that their goals are evil, that they want the destruction of this nation. They want to change everything. They want to turn away from God. They want to turn away from religion. They don't want religion in the government. They don't want religion in this country at all, meaning Christianity. They don't want that here. Yet so many Democrats claim to be Christian, claim to be peaceful. You're not a peaceful people. You don't want peace. You don't understand peace. Oh well. Well, I guess that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope y'all learned a little bit of something. See you guys in the next one, alright?